they're having a tough time so far, but teams like that being able to adapt really quickly is such a really good feature to have on a team.
And I wonder what MYM is thinking right now, because they, in front of the home crowd, this time on the main stage, and this is a epic, huge crowd we have here. There were 2,000 or 3,000 people outside hours before we even opened, and they've just been sitting here the whole day. Huge props to those guys. Here we go, pick some bands.
All right, well, we are seeing that Wukong band out against Future Makers. They ran it game 1, especially with that Kale on top of that. And then we're seeing the Kha'Zix band targeted, obviously, on Ambition. I mean, what kind of bands do we need to see rounded out here? They're kind of getting a feel for each other.
We saw actually in the in-game lobby just before it got started, Makate was pleading with the Azubu boys, give me Kale, please give me Kale. And they all, like 5 players all turned around and said, I went, no, we're banning Kale, I must ban Kale. He was not getting that, so they had that plan from the start. They do not want to come up against it. But with that final bans of Evelyn and Misfortune coming from MYM, has left open that first pick, Olaf, which was very quickly picked up by Lustyboy.
It's funny how they actually wanted to keep Kale away from MYM's jungle, whereas it's been the mid lane Kale has been wrecking face in OGN.
Yeah, that Nash's Tooth and the Entries build has been devastating teams. And, you know, Future Makers might be kind of making the same mistake Gambit made by letting that Olaf go through. We are seeing that Nunu and Caitlyn picked up. I kind of like that ban on Evelyn for Charu, because he's one of those AP mids that likes taking a champion with teleport, just to always get in behind and go for those ganks. We are seeing Shen potentially for the first time, and we're always talking about how he's been getting through bans every time, but hasn't been picked up here. And I'm assuming that definitely will be a jungle Shen if we do see it.
As is already a very strong, tanky front line there from Azubu from their first 2 picks. And if this Twisted Fate goes in, we're going back to our old school global comp from that.
And these are things that are pretty much banned out whenever Azubu plays over in Korea. So them getting all of these picks is really, really huge for them. You know, banning out Lulu's not something you see very often. Getting a ban onto Wukong from Azubu Blaze has really opened up these things that have been locked out of their champion roster for the past couple weeks.
Well, we did see in game number 1, Azubu wanted to pick up TF, but actually switched for someone else at the last second. Okay. So we're actually going to see how well it does here. I mean, to me, he's never been one of those champions that did amazing. I mean, if he does well, he's going to do extremely well, but if he does bad, it's going to be extremely bad. There's never some sort of medium range in there with Twisted Fate for me.
We'll see how they go to shut down Caitlyn and Nunu and how they deal with the lane swaps, because especially shutting down Caitlyn shoving, something that Gambit Gaming was not able to do against Curse in the previous game, is something that Azubu Blaze's composition will do very well at. Both Olaf and Twisted Fate have really, really good wave clear from range. So if MYM's trying any kind of split push, they can basically, they need to change direction almost right now, because it wouldn't work against that Azubu Blaze comp.
Well, Azubu's had a lot of practice, Azubu Blaze had a lot of practice against Elise, against their brother team Frost. Like I say, we'll pick up that Cardless and Elise. So that, right off the bat, that's a lot of damage straight up with that Caitlyn, with that Cardless, with that Elise.
That's a really nice combo. You've got that global ult now coming up from Carter, so he's going to counteract the teleport from Twisted Fate without even leaving his lane. He's going to be able to shove that into the turret, deny him some experience, deny him some gold, and possibly beat it down if they stick to a standard lane. They could, of course, switch it around. You've got Elise, who's been banned a couple of times previously, has finally been picked up, been left open. Could jungle, but more likely top lane in his current setup. And from what I remember, does quite well against Olaf in these early levels. You can punish him with quite a bit of range on that venomous bite, just constantly spamming that out and doing percentage health damage.
Going for that Ash for even more global presence. And I think Charu's actually going to run teleport on that Karthus to kind of stick with that Twisted Fate. But, I mean, when you have 3 globals like this, that has to be really scary to go up against.
So, I really wonder how much respect Azubu is giving MYM right now, because this is a pick comp through and through that Azubu is playing. It's the Ash Arrow into multiple globals, and they're really just hoping they can outmaneuver and just out-mind game MYM. That's a really poor team fight composition by Azubu, so if they ever get corralled or outplayed by MYM, they'd fall behind.
I really like this MYM strat again. It's not, I don't want to say old school, but it's kind of a fallback strategy. It's like, okay, we're not going to try anything crazy new. We're not going to completely ignore what Azubu've got. We're going to pick the strong champions that are open and just take fight after fight. Jungle Malphite, that really strong, hard initiate, which is what split push comps really fall prey to. You got your team split up. It's like, okay, so split up. Just don't get caught in mid. Don't get caught in mid. But when you've got a Malphite sitting there with a Nunu buff, if needs be, just quick blood boil, give him that burst of speed, ultimate in onto your team. that's very hard to avoid because it's such a huge range on it. Getting caught by that is very, very easy. And if MYM suddenly take out 3 members that are left in the mid lane, it doesn't matter if Shen's pushing top, Twisted Fate's putting bottom. That 5-man push from MYM is going to be stronger and will be able to base race straight up the middle. So they're going to have to be very careful to avoid that. And with a teleport from Charu, he's going to be all over the map as well.
Yeah, I'm going to have to ask you guys, who do you think really has this? You're talking about Azubu. If they can get that early game foot into it, they'll be able to carry it on the rest of the game. But we have Mutual Makers. They've proven that they have that ability to, you know, turtle well. Who do you think can really take this?
So while I agree with what Penke said about MYM's composition having a lot of synergy, I know Azubu Blaze's coordination, and I like their chances in this game.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to say that the experience from Azubu Blaze, the practice they've got, as you said, they picked this strategy specifically. They knew exactly what they wanted. Every single champion is set around being Ash Arrow, followed up by Global Ultimate, picking the fights exactly when and where they want it and taking all the objectives around it. And they've just had that experience, they have that strength, and they can do this time and time again. I don't think MYM are quite ready to put up with it.
All right, we're going to send it back over to Joe and Demon to cast this game for you guys. Take it away.
Which is, in my opinion, all on the line here in this group stage, Demon. They're both 1-for-0, and a win here would pretty much guarantee them straight through into that next round.
Yeah, very strong team comps from both teams. Azubu Blaze here as the blue team on your screen. Looking like they're going to go for a bit of an invade on towards red, but you can see there is a ward down on that red buff, so Meteor Makers fully ready for that, and actually going for an invade of their own in towards the red buff. Meteor Makers, they've really got the team comp that they've been used to for many, many years, it's safe to say, because this team has been around for a long time. But, as they mentioned, Azubu Blaze are such a strong team in terms of individual skill, team skill. Yeah, they've been around, they've played really at the highest level, which Meteor Makers, of course, they did win Intel Extreme Masters in Singapore. They placed 3rd and 4th in Cologne. The question is, can they make that step up? They are the home crowd favorite, of course, Meteor Makers. And, well, they're going to have a lot of pressure on their shoulders here. And as it stands, there's a lot of pings back and forth, Joe.
Yeah, this could get very interesting here. Meteor Makers with 4 men. In fact, that's going to be 5 here in a second once Malphite does get around to this bush. Kuban is heading home already, but the question is, will Ash and Sona end up phase checking around this side? They're going to be starting off with their Wraiths. Right now, they're in a safe position, and that shouldn't cause any real problems for them. But Meteor Makers are waiting here. They are going to stick around and wait for that opportunity to pick up a first blood. Oh, this is going to be bad.
Well, they're going to walk around, but they gave it away. Sharu actually leased it too early, and Captain Jack spotted it straight away. The rest of the team do back away. Meanwhile, around at the red buff of their own, you can see Helios there. Kuban's going to come around. He's going to go straight towards Helios. Helios and gets a dive straight on, manages to get the taunt on him with the Shadow Dash, but Kuban is going to keep the poison on towards Helios and maybe cause him problems. Try and chug down a couple more of those health bots, but people do return to lane. So it is going to be a standard lane format, Joe.
Let me give you a quick bit of information here from Meteor Makers' side of things. Intel Extreme Masters Cologne, they finished 3rd and 4th. They played brilliantly in the group stage. 2 out of 3 games, including the one against the Korean side, CJ Enters, they had a Nunu in their team. And then in the semi-final, where they got knocked out 2-0 against SK Telecom, Nunu was banned in both games, and that could well be a sign of things to come in this one.
Yeah, and the duo lanes, it's going to be interesting to see how this one works out. Makler was such a key in all those games there. And against an Ash, it's definitely a combo he's going to be very used to doing, trying to get the net shot towards Lustboy. Just missed out there. We do see a potential invade from Makata there, trying to go in towards it. Helios has picked up the blue, though. He's going to come in. They're going to try and collapse on towards him. You can see Kuban coming down as well. He puts the poison down. Makata's passive will be enough to keep him safe, but there's going to be the Shadow Dash straight away. He's going to get the taunt down, the Ignite on towards Makata. First blood should be coming out here. Will it be enough? He's going to get away with it. Meanwhile, it is going to be first blood, and it's going to be Flame that picks it up. So Azubu do start the blood count.
Yeah, the innate tankiness there of Olaf and Shen really doing the work, not to mention the double buff as well on Helios. So, you know, great start to things coming out there for Azubu Blaze. That's exactly what they've been looking for. This bottom lane of Meteor Makers as well have taken a lot of damage. Libic having to really back off from that one. Makler just flashing red there on the right-hand side of your screen as well. So generally, Azubu Blaze starting off how things, you know, really went for them in game number 1. We called them a well-oiled machine. They didn't make any mistakes, and to win this game against Meteor Makers would put them well, in the driving seat, to say the least, in terms of going through in towards that next round, which of course is straight into the semi-finals, with the 2 teams at the top of each group moving through to Sunday's playoffs.
Yeah, while that action was happening as well, it was obviously a bit of pressure on towards Makta. Makta did go back. We do see the 2 duo lane. Actually, no, they're not going to go back. They're going to keep the pressure on towards the turret. They want to get it down. We do see Makta returning to lane. He's been back to buy, got himself and boots to go with the Doran's Blade. We do see Libic now going back, and Makta still with a bit of pressure on him. He's going to try and pick up some of this CS. He's going to heavily push forward. We do see in the blue jungle, Makata is there. He's going to be present at the moment, but as it is in the middle, it is very even between the 2. Sharo, of course, very well known on Karthus in the European scene, but Twisted Fate is, as Jat said, it is a standard ban all the way through the Korean scene. You will never see Twisted Fate sneak through.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see what impact Ambition is going to have on this game, because once he hits that level 6, of course, gets the ultimate in there, the Destiny, and then we're going to see a lot more activity around the entire map from Azubu Blazer's point of view. In his top lane, we have seen Elise actually come back in there. Obviously did die for that first blood, and that's 29 to 17 CS in there. So Flame really doing well. Already got that Philo Stone, got the flask in there as well. In fact, is he going to go home? Actually just cancelled his recall from that one, but doing very, very well here at the start. 5.5 minutes in, and it's already a 1,300 gold lead.
I think he was expecting Kubon to do the standard, go straight and face check that bush. Instead, he's going to go down and around the bottom. Going to place his ward in the river. And well, you can see that Flame has stuck around. He's going to go straight towards Kubon in a moment. The axe comes across, then just slams it down, and just puts that bit of damage. But the poison trade straight away, so pretty much even trade between the 2 pings of the ward positioning. Sharu very low on mana at the moment. I think he was going to try and get the race dirty jungling, as it's known sometimes, between the junglers, but Sharu is taken down very low. He is going to have Makata standing right in that ward, pits the pink ward down. And remember, Meet Your Makers, these was the team from WCG 2011 while we were in Korea. They were the team that was known for using the pink wards, and that's kind of what's coming into play in Season 3.
Yeah, but you also have to give the credit there to Azubu. I mean, Ambition's ward there in the top side, stopping him being ganked by Malphite, but also in the bottom lane, as we are actually seeing Helios here coming around on towards Makata's position. He's a long way from home, but the middle lane has actually gone back anyway. But Charu's actually is going to teleport down into this bottom lane. Lustboy getting caught out. Twisted Fate is going to join the party, but what can they do with it? He's falling very low as well. He's surely going to go down. It's going to be a kill at the end by Karthus. Took a while to come down, and Caitlyn did end up dying, but we do have Captain Jack still there. He's taken out Nunu. Can he catch up now onto Charu, who's running through the enemy jungle? We've got Shen to his top side. Has he timed this one perfectly? I don't think he's timed this one right either. Charu is going to go down. He has timed it right. And Charu does go down, but crucially to the turret and not to Captain Jack.
Yeah, great little trade between the pair there, and obviously the teleport coming out with the Twisted Fate. That's really how it works out for them. So, 3-2 in kills, currently Azubu with that lead, and the top lane is starting to become a bit of a problem for Kubon here. Of course, Olaf permabanned in the Korean scene, and could Flame teach us how? Flame, of course, came in, replaced Reaper who pretty much carried his way through the entire IEM Katowice with his team as SK Telecom. Flame was the replacement. Have they been justified by that choice? We are seeing an invade again from Helios. He's going to come around towards the top there. They want to try and dive in there. They do have Makata to help him out. Here goes Flame. Flame's used the Ghost here and the Ragnarok. He's going to dive up towards Kubon, gets the Ignite down, and that's just a beautiful leap. It's not going to be enough. The Ignite takes him down while he's in the air, and now Makata there, forced to use the flash. Stand United also wasted as well by Helios onto Flame. They expected him to dive the turret, didn't go for it though. And we return to normal. So, advantage Azubu as we stand, Joe.
Yeah, a little bit of miscommunication there, I think, between the between Helios and Flame there for Azubu Blaze. They got the kill though, and that puts Olaf at 2-0. Plus, let's not forget, a healthy 22 CS lead at this current stage. And I tell you what, Makata's not totally safe under this turret. Or in fact, he will be, because Flame is in fact heading home. But Olaf is always scary. There's a reason why he's pretty much permabanned out in their homeland, you know, when they're playing OGN. And with a 2-0 lead plus a CS lead as well, that's only going to be painful for Meet Your Makers going forward. He's got a Brutalizer in there. He's picked up a Ruby Crystal as well. So just generally, this Olaf is going to start to really, really cause them some problems.
Yeah, interesting. We've not seen Meteor Makers using the ward here towards the Wraiths. It's generally used to spot out when Twisted Fate's going to just sneak off out of lane and get himself his ulti on the go. It really just gives the prior warning to where he's going to go. They haven't gone for that just yet. He did just ward out instead down the river. As it is down this bottom lane, 58 to 51, still pretty even between the two. We do have a ping ward sat currently on Makla's inventory. Just going to see whether he's going to try and use it. As it stands, they've been shoved very much up to their turret constantly, and Captain Jack continues to out-farm as it stands. Top lane also being out-farmed. We did just see him get ganked again, so Kubon 2-0 down in this top lane. In the mid lane, we actually see a very low Shari. The Ignite running. Will it be enough? No, it just runs out with 34 health. He could have died for that ambition. He didn't go for the kill, though.
Yeah, I think rather playing it safe from that one. He's happy to force Charu out. He's already got a healthy 10, 12 CS lead. In fact, he's a little bit more than that by now. But nonetheless, a lead in that middle lane. Obviously got 2 assists and the kill to his 1 death. And he's now just going to continue to push this middle lane through. The tower's taken around about 1/3 of its HP already. And that leaves them, well, able to move around and do that damage once they take their first outer turret. I'm sure they're going to be collapsing onto this middle, and it wouldn't surprise me to see that top turret being the first one that goes down, as we are going to see the Twisted Fate ultimate being used down into this bottom lane.
We do see Libic going very, very low. He's just about hung on there. Makata was also there. They had 2 members in the tri-brush, and I think that's why they chose not to push. Their ambition didn't go deep enough, and Makla just keeps them at bay. He's got to be careful, though. There's still 3 members here. They haven't backed off yet. He will port away. And Makla's going to continue his farm and try and gain back up on some of that important farm. It did mean that Shari left the lane. He's going to come back on towards Helios in that mid lane. Try and pick up as much as he can, Joe, but everybody goes back and buys items.
Yep, everyone headed back. Good few wards being picked up again by Azubu players. We've got a BF Sword Vamp Scepter combo now finished on Ashe over with Caitlyn. A Berserker Greaves plus a Vamp Scepter. Both players also having a Doran's Blade added in onto that one as well. And it seems like we're going to have a couple of quiet minutes from this one. We're approaching a 3,000 gold lead. Still no turret being fully taken down. As I said, it looks like this top one will in fact be falling. You can see the Flame just pushing right out in this top lane. He's going to be taking those minion waves as they come in towards that tower, and that will secure that first tower kill of this game in favor of Azubu Blaze.
Yeah, it's going to be the minions that take you down. Actually, back towards the middle lane is where I'm trying to see where the action was. It is Helios coming in with Stand United up towards Ambition. Shari is going to get taken down very low. Is he going to be low enough? Yes, he will be, because here comes Flame, and now Makata's going to have to back away. The ultimate's going to come out. Is Helios going to get shielded? No, he's not. Makata, though, he's taken very low. He's going to get died. Flame's going to get the kill with the Ignite. Flame is a destroyer of worlds right now on Olaf.
Yeah, and speaking of the destroyer of worlds down at the bottom, we are actually seeing the Ashe ultimate going in there, and that will be finisher for Captain Jack. Just managing to get that last arrow off before Nunu got underneath the safety of his tower, and that's quick succession, 3 kills going down. Obviously they lost Helios for that one, but that's a trade that Azubu certainly won't mind.
Yeah, as it is, Makla's going very precariously close, but coming around the backside is Charo with the home guard. He's just teleporting himself in, goes towards Lustboy. Makla there flashes out. Is it going to be enough? The minions on him. He's just going to have to avoid it. Now they're going to turn straight on towards Captain Jack. Captain Jack's going to run straight into Kubon, who just leaps straight on, and in Captain Jack Sparrow's going to go down. It's Charo that picks up the kill to the delights of the home crowd. It's 8-5 as I missed the bottom action. Ambition there, using his ultimate coming in. It's really hard to track Twisted Fate.
Yeah, I have to keep a big eye on that one. But still, Ambition doing what he needs to do in that position as well. Moving up to 2-1-3. Obviously, Caitlyn taking her second death from that one. Is behind on CS. It's the same in the middle. It's the same in the jungle. It's the same in the top lane. Hell, it's even the same with the supports as well. 13-2 in favor of Sona down there. So, you know, couple of kills coming around for MYM, but in the grand scheme of things, they are still losing out on this one, and especially I feel with this Olaf, who's just so very, very strong at 3-0-0. He's currently sat on 2,300 gold. So the next time he goes home, well, he's coming back into the mix even stronger.
Yeah, interesting build by him, actually. Looks like he's going to go for the Black Cleaver first instead of the standard. Let's have a look towards him. He's got 2,300 gold. Honestly, he could build what the heck he likes right now. Yeah. Is he going to go straight for a Black Cleaver? No, he's going to jump it straight to a Warmogs. Why not from a Ruby Crystal? I would have expected the Ruby Crystal, Giant's belt to come out earlier. So Captain Jack, he's been back to buy. He's got himself a BF sword pickaxe for Makler. So Makler going to go straight for the Infinity Edge. We are seeing Dragon possibly coming out here from Azubu, and I don't think Meteor Makers can do anything about this, Joe.
Now, I don't know where near this one. We just saw the Hawk shot come out from Captain Jack to make sure they weren't coming from that Tribush side. Well, that will be the Dragon picked up and secured. There is the Ash Arrow coming down as well from Captain Jack.
Does catch on towards Makler, and you can see Livic's going to use it. The absolute zero crescendo comes out. Is it enough? Here comes Shara coming around the side once again. He does make the turn out towards Captain Jack. Lustboy's going to get dropped as well. It's a double kill for the home team. Meanwhile, down at the top here, you can see Kumon's being forced away by Helios. But that does mean they're going to force the pressure on the bottom turret. They should take this one, Joe.
Yeah, is this going to be 1-1? They need to be a little bit careful here, because Azubu are going to be going in for this middle outer turret. What can Meteor Makers do against it? Ambition going low. There's the unstoppable force. Here comes the Countess Ultimate. That's one kill. Can Makata get himself away from this one? They're not going to get away easily, but he will. He's flashed out of it. Makata surviving. And Meteor Makers, a fantastic bit of play. Hold on to their middle turret. Pick up the kill on Ambition and take the bottom turret as well. Brilliant stuff from the Poles.
And they've got a 4-man team in the middle with a Siege Minion. They could turn this on towards another middle turret as well. The rest of Azubu are going to try and react to this one, but that Nunu Caitlyn combo is such a devastating force when it comes to taking turrets down. The rest of the team do come in. Helios, I just swear I just heard Ghost get used, but it wasn't. Instead, they are going to back away, and Meteor Makers all square 8-8 in kills. They are behind in kills, gold overall, because of that Dragon, of course, and of course the big farming difference currently. They're still going to have a problem, Joe, with Flame.
They're still going to have a problem. I mean, that turnaround was very nice from them, that's for sure. And they could have even had that middle outer turret if it wasn't for the quick reaction there of Azubu Blaze as well. But we'll have to see. I still think this Olaf really is going to be a hard one to stop. He's now 3-0-0. Of course, that Warmock's in there. There's a Sunfire Cape now on to Shen as well. Lichbane is done for Twisted Fate. So just generally great items.
Well, Makler and Kumon could have pushed that middle turret. They completely abandoned it. They were nowhere near it. As soon as Captain Jack showed himself in the middle, they just didn't run as where Ambition was. He was picking himself up the blue. They could have pushed that one, but of course, simply down to not having any ward coverage towards the enemy jungle. They didn't know the position. Captain Jack has to be worrisome down the bottom here. He's been picked off a few times. It's Jaro. He went really early with those Sorcerer's Home Guard boots, and I wasn't sure why, but then I remembered he got teleport, so that's why he's been zipping in and around, and that's actually a really difficult thing to get away from, because he's just going to get straight in there with that wall of pain and cause a problem. Ping goes down currently on Ambition. He's the target. The question is, can they get to him? No, they will not.
No, not quite getting across there, but you see the speed that he's got as well, Charu, there with that Blood Boil, and really going to help him to get in there. And in the top lane, we are seeing now Flame in a little bit of trouble. Ultimate is going to come out. Ambition going to join in there. And here we see Kubon going very, very low. Flame currently is surviving. Makata's going to be forced to back away. And again, just a great, an amazing reaction even from Azubu Blaze to stop that Olaf going down. And he is now 4-0.
Very quick reactions there, and well, Olaf is just very, very strong right now. He's becoming a problem. Captain Jack takes the bottom turret for free. We do see Sharo teleporting in the home guard boots. Let's see how speedy he can be. He's racing after Captain Jack from behind. Comes straight in with it to file the layways. The wall of pain is going to be a very dead Captain Jack. He's trying to pop it out. Ace in the hole from Makler on the side there. And Sharo picks it up and levels out the kills once again.
Home guard teleport is pretty strong, I think we can conclude from what we've seen so far. Interested to see how this one all finishes up. Now we're on level on the kills, 9-9, 2-1 in turrets still in favor though of Azubu Blaze after we saw that outer turret taken down in the bottom lane, but that's something that can change. One thing that we do have coming up here pretty shortly, or in a couple of minutes time at least, is that Dragon. We'll see how both of these teams start to get themselves ready for that next big global objective. Meanwhile though, MYM are pushing down towards this middle turret. You can see their Flame took the brunt of the damage, but it just hardly touches him.
He's very, very strong right now, and they have to be worried about that. Makler needs to get that Infinity Edge completed as quickly as possible. He gets to the point where he's going to have to out-damage Olaf, and as it is at the moment, he's nowhere near that stage, because Olaf's just going to pop that Ghost of Ragnarok and go headfirst into either Makler or Sharu and just beast them down. They are going to bully their way in towards this turret though. They're going to get another couple of shots off. They will back off. Here comes the arrow. Everybody avoids the damage, dodging away there. Meteor Makers, they are on a thread right now though, I feel, because Helios, he's going to be split pushing as much as he can. He's already got that Sunfire Cape, so he's got 2 Giant's belts, of course, with that Sunfire Cape on there as well. They are very, very tanky right now, but Captain Jack, he's been caught out a few times. That's maybe the saving grace for Meteor Makers. They're keeping themselves in it.
They are still in this game, that is for sure, as we are going to see Flame here. Does get rooted up, good damage coming down. Still above half HP though.
Yeah, that was all 5 members individually using one ability on him, and he didn't even drop below half health. He is so strong right now. It's going to be a worry for them. They are just holding on out. Dragon will be up in around about 1 minute time. You can just see they keep the pressure on this turret. This is the problem that Azubu, they've got nothing to relieve this pressure currently, and Meteor Makers could keep this going.
The question is, can they really peel off and get towards that Dragon? We're going to see that pretty shortly, I guess, from Meteor Makers' side of things, as Shen just avoiding everything that Kubon could throw at him. That tower is now down to less than 1,000 health. So a couple of waves of minions with that Caitlyn in there could see that outer middle turret going down. Dragon is literally about to spawn in the next 10-15 seconds, so we'll see if Meteor Makers do decide to pile away from that one. Charo, though, has gone back to base. He doesn't have teleport available, so we'll see if that plays into anything here. Ping's going down already from Azubu, down on towards those wards that they saw being put down. But they are still hanging on here. Azubu's starting to push them back. I think now that they realise Charo is gone, Shen obviously is in that top lane, but does have Stand United available, so he can get back into this fight whenever it kicks off.
Yeah, Charo cleaning out that huge wave down the bottom there. That's as effective as just picking up a kill himself, because that was a giant wave. He's got that Leandris on there as well, and you saw it procking off on the minions. As it stands though, Meteor Makers holding steady. They have lost that top and bottom turret, so they are 2-1 down in turrets, but they are not anywhere near out of this one. They are going to put the pressure on towards the Dragon. This could be the first Dragon of the game. They are going to have some pressure on towards that top lane though, but that is going to be the Dragon for Meteor Makers. Top turret is going to get some damage from Helios, but not a great deal. They're pinging on towards this mid lane, Joe. They're going to go for it.
Yeah, it looks like they are. We're actually going to get him in the back. Captain Jack going to take a lot of damage. Oh, it didn't actually land there. The ultimate from Makata not being successful. There's a crescendo from the backside. Flame's going to get in. That's 2 kills. Livik going to throw Absolute Zero down. That's not enough for him to really do much damage. Kubon now the focus of the attacks. Double kill for Shen. Here comes Ambition. Gets the stun down. Gets the wild cards in. And that is 4 kills for nothing for Azubu Blaze.
Well, they threw everything they could. The kitchen sink, the lot was on Flame, and Flame just took it like a man. He beasted his way through that one. He's so strong right now. The rest of the team were untouched. The target seems a little bit off, because you can see a number of these players, they all have damage, so nobody really had the focus of the target there. Captain Jack down to half, Flame down to half, Ambition down to half. So there was a lack of focus there, and they're going to try and turn this one straight into a Baron.
Yeah,
no, they're back in. It's wise choice.
Yeah, I think so as well. Health not quite there. Not super amounts of mana distributed around the team either. And I think they can happily go home and spend the over 2,000 gold that's on quite a lot of these players. I've just seen needlessly large rod being picked up there by Twisted Fate. Infinity Edge is finished for Ash. There's a Spirit Visage and a Giant Spell there for Olaf as well. That is a big shopping spree for him.
It is a huge shopping spree for the entire team, and there's a heck of a lot of damage that's been built up there. It's going to be a problem for Meteor Makers here. They just realized that they can't win that fight. It was less than ideal conditions because they were just dodging in and out of this bush, so that's why they weren't quite visible. But you do see the red buff on Mac there. Has got Infinity Edge, but as does his opposite number as Captain Jack. So those Warmarks stacking now. Just look at it. Warmarks, Spirit Visage, no Giant Spells in sight. And as Jeff's been pointing out, that generally is a sign that you are winning the game.
Yeah, and I just don't know how they're going to be able to control this Olaf, because when he's got Ghost, and you know what, just forget about Ghost even. When that Ragnarok's on, you can't control him, and the items that he's got is going to be up in your face before you can do anything about it. It's going to stop
towards Ambition. They're going to manage to get it. They do take him down before anyone can react there. They're going to just finish off the turret. Kubon's going to come around the side. He might get him towards Lustboy here. No, he misses the root really quite badly there, but Ace and the hole comes through. He should get pounced on. Kubon gets exhausted. Crescendo comes out towards Kubon. Kubon leaps himself up. He's going deep in the turret. Manages to get the poison down. Now he's in trouble. Helios is going to chase on. He's got Livik to help him out though, and Kubon will evacuate. Meanwhile, the top turret is getting destroyed. Flame is on that, but they're going to go towards the inner turret of their own. Makata taken down very, very low there, just stunned out. But Makler's going to come back in. It's going to be an inner turret for an inner turret. Flame should be able to take the top one, and the middle one, oh, no, it won't quite go down because Captain Jack returned, and that minion, that turret is just going to be safe for a little bit longer.
just about holding on. They've taken that inner turret in the top lane there. That's Flame pushing it straight through. And I tell you what, he's approaching 100 CS lead as well over this Elise. And that's before we even start to talk about his kills going forward as well. So really a good hold on to that turret. A little bit risky play from Kubon, but I think at this stage of the game, they have to take those kinds of risks to try and mop up and bring themselves back even.
Well, you do see Lustboy going in. They're going to start on the Baron here. They've realized that Meteor Makers have all gone back, but they are not completely forgotten. And there's Kubon, puts the ward down. Is it going to be quick enough? You can see that Baron, that's going to be the cast. His ultimate is going to try and keep them away, just try and suspend anything they can. They didn't quite catch the roots out. They are going to teleport in. Here comes Home Guard. Sharu, actually, no, he didn't have Home Guard because he just used his ultimate, so he didn't have that 3-second counter. Captain Jack's the target. He's going to catch him with the ace in the hole, and he gets taken down by Sharu. Now they're going to turn on towards Flame. Flame exhausted, but he's going to be able to back away from this one. There is no unstoppable force. He has got it available. Is he going to go for it? He's just waiting his time. Flame taken very low here. Ragnarok used and abused already. Meteor Makers looking very strong. They're just going to turn and burn straight to Ambition. They want to take this inner turret, but a great comeback from Meteor Makers defending that Baron.
Yeah, really important move for them
what
there.
A card.
Wow. that was pretty impressive as well coming in. They've lost that turret, and you know, it's Nunu that's gone down for them there, so I'm not sure they'll be too unhappy about that whole affair of things, but you know, they're still in this one, Meteor Makers. We saw there the amount of damage that Flame took, but still he's not died. He's still not dying, and that's the real key thing, I think, for Meteor Makers in this one. He needs to be taken out of the fight completely.
Well, we do see Zeal and Cloak of Agility picked up there by Makler. So Makler's benefited quite a bit from these last few exchanges. 4-3-4 currently, and again the ping's going down on Lustboy. He is aiming for that Baron. Are they going to try and rush it again? There's a lot of ward placement out here. They're going to just try and bait it. They're waiting to see if anyone's going to come there. It is going to be Kubon. He's going to come straight in there. The whole team is ready and waiting. The ward gets put down. They didn't go for it. Hawkshot came across, and they are going to back away, Joe. This is going to be a little bit of a tense fight between these two.
Yeah, it's still not over in my opinion. I mean, if they take everyone else apart from Flame down, that could be a way to get through this whole problem that they've got on that front. But again, Azubu not wanting to risk what they have and going in for that Baron. They are going to be seeing Charu back away. They know that he doesn't have teleport, so that may change things here. Lustboy is actually still inside of the base, so it's going to take them a while to get around to that. That's going to allow Charu to retreat back into the middle after getting rid of that creep wave in the bottom lane.
Kubon's getting a little bit more tankier. You can see also Makata's both picked up a Giant's Belt, but there's Flame with another Giant's Belt building towards that Sunfire Cape. He's just getting stronger and stronger. Can they keep up the damage towards him? That top lane split push continuing to be a problem. Shara's going to come around. They're going to try and catch on towards Flame here. Makata was slowed down. Flame's the target. Is it going to be enough though? They poured everything into him. Stand United comes out. Now they're going to have to avoid the damage here. Libby gets immediately stunned there and taken straight out of Absolute Zero. A great crescendo on towards Makata. Makata, oh, he only caught Unstoppable Force on Lustboy, and you can see the damage coming towards him. Azubu Blade splitting that damage very nicely. Requiem's going to come out here. Kubon's going to get caught out. It is the one man that escaped the damage. It was Makata, but Azubu Blade fought that one brilliantly, and again they focused on Flame.
Yeah, it was a bit all over the place there. You can see the HP pretty much across the board is low, which just tells you instantly that they didn't really focus on one target. They were a bit split up as well. Not sure it was the best call to really put so much onto Flame there. They used a hell of a lot to try and track him down. That wouldn't work out for them. Now Azubu managed to pick up that that Baron even, and that leaves them with 11,000 gold leads, 5-3 in turrets. They're ahead in the kills. Olaf, I feel like I'm talking about him far too much in this game, but he's now just picked up a Randuin's Omen as well.
But just look at the gold difference between the two top laners. 11,800 to 6,300.
That's insane, yeah.
That is the biggest item in the game you could buy. It's just a huge, huge difference between the two. 5,000 gold stack, and honestly, I'm not too sure what Meteor Makers are going to be able to do to this one, because frankly, Makler is chasing a losing battle right now. He needs to have some alone time in some lane somewhere and just really farm out as much as possible. But Azubu Blaze, they're going to keep that pressure on. It's what they do best, and I don't think they're going to allow it. You're going to also see Captain Jack going to back off here. He's got 1,800 gold in him. Last Whisper probably going to come out, maybe just go towards... Oh, they're going to try and pin out Flame here. Can they separate him? That's what they've got to do. They've got to catch someone out completely alone, which was what they thought they'd done. You saw Sharo go diving in towards him, but look at that, 2 shots from Makler. Nothing at all done to him. He's got 4,100 hit points and he's regenerated it straight away with that Baron Buffon.
Yeah, absolutely no damage coming out, and that's a real worry for them because in terms of that sustained damage, it's got to come, to be honest, from Caitlyn there. So we'll see if they can finally do something about this Flame. Like you said, catching him out is really the best chance I think that they've got of getting anything out of this game now in those in what could be the final few minutes. The problem is that we've not seen Azubu really make that many mistakes. I say that many because we've seen Captain Jack get caught out a couple of times, but Flame, I'm not sure that they're going to do that this time at this stage of a game, to be honest. You know how far ahead they are. I think in terms of discipline, they are one of the more disciplined teams in this tournament, and they shouldn't let this happen.
Well, and this is a prime position for Azubu Blaze. They can split push all the lanes. Of course, Twisted Fate can ulti in, Helios can ulti in, so they can quite happily just have 3 man up the mid and then all the opposite sides out the side. Helios picking up, making that Oracle work for him. Of course, he's never going to be a target in the fight, which is why he's picked up that Oracle. It's going to be a 5-minute timer, and he's making use of it. We do see Makler. Makler got caught out here. Captain Jack coming around the side there. Captain Jack with the Banshees, and there's going to be ambition. He is dropped where he stands, and that is how quick they can just pick someone off. Completely out of position. Honestly, the rest of the team were there. I'm not too sure what he was doing, going that deep away from a turret, but really they didn't have a great deal of vision in the turret. That's going to be the inner turret down, and as Azubu Frost continue to push their advantage.
And we saw there the arrow coming out of Ash, completely unnecessary actually in the grand scheme of things, but they wanted to lock that kill down. They wanted to take that Caitlyn out here and give them the chance to push that little bit more. I mean, all 3 lanes now are down to those inhibitor turrets, so they can just move around however they want. As you said, brilliant split pushing ability that they've got inside of their team. So it's going to be super hard for Meet You Makers to really turtle into this one and try and turn anything back in the game. But who knows? Maybe it'll happen. We've seen stranger things, I think.
Well, they have got a Karthus. They can try to grind this one out, try and work it as much as they can with the layway. It's not quite as much of a stall as you'd hope, but as Makler's returned back to life, he's going to try and clear out those waves. So despite the fact they did manage to get those picks, and they are quite a way ahead, they're struggling to get this turret down. Now they're going to get a good chunk in it. They should take this one. That's the first inhibitor turret going down, and that spells trouble for Meteor Makers. Azubu Blaze going to work their way in towards this one. What is Makata doing? He's around the backside of Helios. Are they going to try and split Helios off here? Helios is going to get stirred, but the rest of the team can turn on towards him. Helios is just forced away from the inhibitor turret, but there's the inhibitor. He's going to get exposed, and Flame is back on it. They can't go near Flame right now. He's a beast. He's a raid boss.
Yeah, and that was the problem. You saw Shen just went to the middle. They were forced to back away from it, and that gave the inhibitor turret up. And Shen's just going to keep doing that over and over again. It won't surprise me to see Helios then head off towards his top side of things. But Azubu actually looking like they will back away. Flame's got another 2,000 gold to be spending for this one. So we'll see where he goes with his next item, and it's going to be the Black Cleaver.
Oh dear, mate. That's only going to spell trouble. 605, and honestly, he's kind of proving why the Korean scene bans Olaf every single game. It's almost a must. He's proving that, despite the fact Kha'Zix was banned, Kha'Zix is definitely a viable ban. You've got to wonder about the others. Twisted Fate, I'm not 100% sure about the perma ban that seems to be on Twisted Fate. Ambition maybe not proving it the most. He has managed to help pick up a kill, so 539. You can't argue with that, can you?
Well, if we think back to it as well, I mean, his ultimate that came into that top 1 prevented what looked to be quite a certain death as well for Flame. So, I mean, if you look at it at that side, he doesn't necessarily have to have all the kills on his side if he's protecting that Olaf and keeping him a ridiculous score like he is now, and making sure that in lane he is far ahead. I mean, it's 100 CS, over 100 CS that it has over Elise on the overall for that one. We've just seen Ash picking up that Phantom Dancer along with the Banshee's Veil and Infinity Edge. There is a Phantom Dancer over with Caitlyn as well, but we've seen it, I think, 3 or 4 times already with this one. Flame just runs in towards her, doesn't take enough damage from her, and takes her down before they can really make an impact.
And Elise, like you mentioned, is so far behind in terms of builds between
look at the
these two.
items, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, well, gold, 7,000 to 14,000. He's actually got nearly half the gold now, which is a great feat for Reaper. Well, I say Reaper, it would be a great feat for Reaper if he was playing, but it's a great feat for
even
Flame.
greater since he isn't playing.
Yeah, he's just maybe influenced it from outside, but as it stands, you do see Flame taking away that blue buff. And he's just going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. The split push from Helios. As it stands, we do see Sharo coming round. He's going to... Oh no, they're pinged on him. They're well aware he's here. The rest of the team, are they going to try and sneak around on him? No, they're going to be able to nick that red away and back off. It's going to give it to Makla. They are hanging a little bit longer. They still haven't taken down that exposed inhibitor. They've just pinged on it, so expect to see Azubu make a charge towards there. They've cleaned pretty much every wave now. Down that bottom, Flames kind of being caught out. Ambition now also with the Banshee's Veils. That's 2 Banshee's Veils for Azubu now.
I mean, it makes sense that right now they're giving Meteor Makers a lot of respect, in my opinion. They're not going overly aggressive. They don't want to be getting caught out in this position. They know a win here is a definite push in towards the playoffs for them. So the question is, at what point are they going to make that push? Are they going to be looking for this first kill? Are they waiting for that next Baron to come up, which, well, is actually there right now, spawned just a few seconds ago as well. But if you look down the items, it kind of makes sense that they're going to go for this one. Or, in my opinion, that they would have gone for this one a little bit earlier if they weren't giving Meteor Makers that huge respect that they've got for them. I mean, look at Elise's items, a Warmog and a Haunting Guise there. You've got... Compare that over to Olaf, it's not really a contest. Even Malphite, Shurelias, plus the Warmogs, compared over on the other side to the Aegis, the Sunfire Cape, that Warmog, so much healthier, and even more damage coming out there. And it's just across the board, Azubu have such a big lead from this one. But they've got the respect from Meteor Makers, and they know that they're a team capable, I think, of turning something like this around. But where are they going to do it? When? If? How?
Really nicely done by Ambition there, using his ultimate, going straight in towards Makata and stun carding him so he couldn't come in to try and smite that Baron and get the steal on. And there's going to be a Baron up Azubu, and honestly, I'm not too sure what Meteor Makers can do to come back from this one. They're going to pile on through. Everybody's at full hit points. Everybody's buffed up. Why not just go for it? And that's what they're going to do. They've got a lot of gold between all of them, but they are going to get straight in towards the second inhibitor turret. They're going to take that down. Not a lot Meteor Makers can do about this one. They're going to have to back off towards the double Nexus turrets. And you can see Makata, he's trying desperately to find the perfect chance to get an initiate here. But Captain Jack and Ambition with those Banshee's Veils on are not going to get interrupted, not going to get disrupted. They're going to take this inhibitor down without Meteor Makers really being able to respond. They're trying to poke from the side, but there it is. First inhibitor of the game going down to Azubu Blaze.
Bottom one completely open there. Makata having a bit of a dance. Actually, a taunt in there, but like you said, Banshee's Veils, brilliant couple of items to have on your 2 carries when you've got that Malphite hanging around in there as well. But they still are being very, very careful here, Azubu. They are playing very, very calculated. Flame obviously has taken good amounts of damage here, as we saw as they went in for that last inhibitor as well. He knows that he can't push his luck too much because they will put everything onto him to try and kill him.
Well, you've got to remember back to the Azubu Frost, Azubu Blaze game.
Yeah,
they had 3 inhibitors down, and well, Frost threw that one away, and Blaze saw exactly how it does. So they realized that you can't even throw it at this point. They are a long, long way behind in terms of damage, but if they go a little bit too deep, they're going towards Jaro. They're going to try and put the pressure down. It's actually everything on towards Flame again. That's the problem. Everything is targeted towards... It's a great crescendo. Helios gets across, gets the taunt straight on there. Shadow Dash from Makatu just now called out as well. There's going to be the Karthus ultimate. Not really going to pick anyone off, though. Look at that. Flame just barely blinked an eye at that thing. And they are just going to follow the super minions in towards this Nexus turrets. There's only 4 men standing here, Joe, but it's the last stand for Meteor Makers.
Yeah, and we saw there that Karthus ultimate didn't do anything to Captain Jack. He had the Banshees, but we are going to see Makata engaging here onto 3 of them. Can they get in and do anything? Good taunt coming across from Helios. Makla going low. Living will throw Absolute Zero down. Makla will be picked up in the end, but can they do anything here to Flame? He's right next to him, on top of the fountain almost, and he's just going to be able to pick off that Malphite in the end. There is the first Nexus turret. The second one is going to go down as well, and Azubu Blaze going to focus in onto the Nexus. They are going to take down Meteor Makers here in a 40-minute game and go 2-0 in Group A of the Intel Extreme Masters here in Katowice.
Well, it's a great result for Azubu Blaze. They came here from Korea, of course. You never know.